right around this bend on this island. Beautiful spot to sit here with the chair and watch the sun go down. And I gotta show you, this is gonna be stunning. Right here. This is my favorite cypress tree right here. River and I are gonna watch this, and there's enough clouds that it might just be really gorgeous. We'll see. We will see. Well, for those of you who watch my videos a lot, you know about once a month I do a video where I don't really show you that much nature and I don't really play any music and I just throw a bunch of information at you. This video sponsor made this type of conversation make sense right now. Okay, I was sponsored with a 300 amp hour lithium battery that's heated. So let's talk a little bit about lithium batteries. There are some things that people just don't know, and some things that don't really make sense, but it's true. So there's three types of lithium batteries: the kind that have no protection to the cold, and the kind that have protection to the cold, and then the kind that actually heat themselves so they don't get cold. The reason for that is because lithium batteries, to be honest, do really well in the cold. If you grab your drill or you go and try to use electricity from a lithium battery in the freezing cold, it'll give it to you. The problem is when you start to charge it. You can run into problems when you're charging it when it's below 32 degrees. So some lithium batteries just come with a warning on them, and people live in Arizona and they're never going to get below 19 degrees or 20 degrees, so they're never going to freeze their lithium battery, right? So they don't care. The next thing is the kind with a BMS system that will automatically turn the battery off, right? If the battery gets too cold, the system will kick on and will make it impossible for the charger to charge. Now, typically what you will see is automatically your battery will go from whatever you're at. So let's say you're at 11.9 or you're at 12.1 and you're ready to actually charge it. Once you put the charger on, within like two minutes, your batteries will show 14.1. That means that your BMS, your battery management system, kicked in and is not allowing that battery to be charged, right? So that is the first two ways that you get around the cold. One is just never go in the cold and don't worry about it. The other one is to have a battery that knows it's cold and to turn it off. The third option is what I have here. And I actually have all of them here. I can show you all of them. So 200 amp hour battery running my diesel heater, and that will turn itself off if it's too cold to charge. Okay. Two 1000 amp hour bricks right there. They don't know if it's cold or not. They don't know what the temperature is. Okay. My house batteries, and the other option back here, I wanted to point this out before we go back there. Here's my house battery bank. And there is that 12 volt plug right there. If I run out of propane, I plug the refrigerator directly into that. So the house battery can now run the refrigerator if I need to. All right. No, I don't keep my chainsaw out here. I was doing something for another episode that we'll talk about coming in spring or later in the year, basically. I'm going to start doing throwback episodes where I show people how I built the last 3 houseboats that I built, and I will narrate. I'll show video and time lapses of building it, and I'll narrate now what I should have known back then, and I'll tell you what I did wrong and what I did right. Looks like it's going to be a 12 to 16 part series, and I'll probably just do Throwback Thursdays. So, starting later on this spring, once a week, it'll be like a 3-month series of going through and showing how I built houseboats and what I did wrong and what I learned and what I can teach you. So, coming back to this sponsor. So Vatrer has kindly given me a 300 amp hour heated lithium battery. Now, this thing weighs 58 pounds. So if it was a lead acid battery, you're looking at well over 200 pounds worth of weight. So it's a significant change. Look at it compared to my other 100 amp hour battery. So it's not a small battery. It does have an app that will go through and show you how you can see on your phone what's going on with it. Now, the reason why we're going to go through that app is because I want to show you something about the heating of it and how these cells work, and I want you to understand something about lithium batteries. Not necessarily just this company, but every lithium battery out there. We'll kind of take a look at that. So this battery, it runs at 12.8 volts. It's 300 amp hours, obviously. You can charge it with a maximum charge of 200 amps. So typically you want to charge around 60 amps, but if you need to bust through a charge and get it done fast, you can pump it up to 200 amps. It has 2,560 watts and 3,840 watt hours built into this battery. So 90% of the use of the battery is done above 12.4 volts. So it can, if you have a motor that won't run underneath 12, 90% of this battery can be used to run like a trolling motor or something like that. It's unbelievable. It's great for my refrigerator if I run out of propane. It's insane, the amount of power that can come out of this battery, and the fact that it will use only 3% of its power to heat itself when it's 19 degrees out and allow me to charge it even when it's 19 degrees. It's pretty amazing. Now, a lot of people are opting, they're going to say, well, okay, now you need solar panels. I have seen and been in Arizona where solar panels are the best option and one of the only workable options out in the middle of nowhere where you have to go get gas. But in Tennessee, Kentucky, I know people with 900 amp hours of solar panels, right? And I know, and they have 900 amp hours of lithium batteries, and they're still running their generator every once a week at least to get by. If you live in Arizona, solar works for you, and you don't even need a bunch of it. I've seen people run 300 or 200 watt solar panels into a 200 watt battery, 200 amp hour battery, lithium, and they are running an entire darn house. My point is that there is a very logical argument to just own a generator if you're in the northern area and not even have any solar panels. However, in my situation, what I've done is the batteries that are hooked up to solar, which are the 2,000 amp hour bricks, they each have their own solar panel. They do all of my entertainment. So, and spare lighting. Like if I have lighting out front that I'm moving around, I'll plug it into that. So typically if I'm plugging in something with a USB, it's going into one of those two batteries. The 200 amp hour and the 300 amp hour I charge once every week or so. One runs the diesel heater. The 200 amp hour is running the diesel heater, and that is it. That's all it's running off of it. And then my new battery, the 300 amp hour heated one, is out back, not taking up any space in the cabin because it can heat itself. And it is running all of my cabin. So the lighting, the indoor lighting is mainly, that's what it is, but the pump and everything that I plug in right there. So if I'm using my vacuum, I plug it into it. And if I'm lighting up fixed lights that I have outside of the boat, I'm using that. So one thing that I'm gonna do is put a lot more lighting on the boat now that I have this. So the reason why someone can't stick all these batteries together in one bank or two banks is because the cells are very different from each other. And when you make your own bank of lithium batteries, what you want is for all of the individual cells to be running at relatively the same power. So if you look down here, cell 1, 2, 3, and 4 of this battery are all within 0.1 of each other. They're all running at 3.2, 3.2, 3. They're all in the 3.2. And if you look, they're all relatively close to the same temperatures. Now this is where it gets tricky and why having a bad cell is a real problem. You take the 3.2, you add it up, you end up with 12.8. That's what it runs at. But let's say one's not at full potential, it's only running at 3. It limits all the rest to 3, which means you're starting out with 12 volts going down. Not good. The other thing I want to show you is I'm going to turn on a light that I found here. Look at this. I just turned on this light, and the light is kind of dim, And look at, it's saying it's pulling 10.5 watts from the system, 13.1, right? Now, this is the same exact light. I'm going to show you a picture of it as the one right next to it. There's something wrong with this light, right? The wiring. So I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to go turn on another system, another light right here. So I just turn on the same exact light right next to it, and look at the wattage. It doesn't even show as a 1/10 of a watt or an amp. So I've already figured out that one of my lights is almost shorting out or doing something wrong to take away a significant amount of power. That's 10 and 13 watts like that is more than a cell phone would draw. And this is just my overhead light was doing that, and I had no clue it was happening until right now. So until I put this system in to check everything. Let's get back to that sunset we were looking at. Beautiful spot.
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? I'll travel the world and the 7 seas. Everybody is looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused.
So I'm pulling up to my friend's house where we're celebrating my friend's 50th birthday. She turns 50 today on Christmas. And what's interesting is I helped build this house. So I'm going to point out some things. You can't go to the house you built and not point out things that you built. So now, if you've been following along, you'll know that Jamie taught me how to use a wood mill by making these beams. And the boards we cut off of the logs to make these beams are actually the deck. I went through and squared off all these beams and planed these boards and actually put this deck together by myself, all by myself. And that was the first thing I actually started doing when I was working for Jamie here. Now, Angel and I put the beams up to make the structure to hold the roof, and then Jennifer came along and stained and put all the lighting and made it all look pretty like she always does.
Junior sitting over here like a grown man.
So we done that at the beach in October.
Probably ain't hot enough for the boat. Probably ain't hot enough for it.
Oh yeah, it was boiling when I pulled up.
And she was like, we don't put it.
Yeah. You got sisters gonna get mama? Because even Jeffrey like comes after me now, it's like he throws a fit. Yeah. You're such a good boy. See, I tried.
Jamie Davis.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
We're gonna head over to the beach. There's someone with a car in the river, so I guess we're gonna go over there. Looks like an ATV. That looks stuck to me. It is. Okay, so one trick when you're wenching, wrap your rope around the tree. That way the tension is on the tree and the rope, not the knot. This is my anchor line from my dinghy. Not very strong. And of course it would be much better if this wench was facing the other way. He's got to grab his winch wire first. He's got to grab his winch wire real quick.
Okay.
Just out of the, yeah, it's sitting in the water.
Yeah, he's gonna have to try and back up when I'm trying to pull you. Tell me when you're ready. All right, start backing up.
Give it gas. Go. Yeah.
Now we put rocks underneath the wheels to try to get traction.
Ready?
Yeah, start backing up. Start backing up. Go. 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 He's bottomed out.
Yeah, he gonna get, if he don't watch that, he gonna get stuck. I think everybody don't have no boots on, that's why nobody jumped in the water yet.
I tried to push it. It don't move. It's heavier than you think.
It is.
Yeah.
And I think they don't realize they lean on
But I mean, honestly, if 5 people got in there and pushed it, it would move. Yeah. Or just tie a rope to it and pull on it. And put enough.
All right, get ready to go full. Yeah. I have to drive with it.
We took the anchor line and we roped it through 4 times to make it
Tied enough
stronger.
ropes together to get to the tree. Oh, he is moving a little bit. This is what makes me sad, is he moves like 3 inches towards the shore and then he's just stuck. Ooh, that fucking tree's gonna come out. Get the fuck back.
Get it. Yeah. I broke at the winch.
There goes the winch rope. It was moving though, that ass end.
And if you move, just go.
Start.
Nope. Nope.
No.
You ain't, buddy.
It broke at your winch.
Yeah.
What?
You're
It-
hung up on something.
It broke at the winch.
I didn't hear you.
It broke at the winch.
Broke it?
At the
The
winch.
winch rope broke.
Everything we tried broke. We weren't able to get it out. They were calling for search and rescue to come out here because this is actually an organized search for a gentleman whose truck and cell phone were found just off the highway over here. And they're actually going through this whole area looking for that gentleman and see if he got stuck somewhere or what happened with him. That's why there's so many people in orange vests here. Now the following morning I got up to go to work here and I thought I was going to be seeing that ATV or side-by-side sitting in the water, but I got a text from the gentleman. 2 ATVs from Search and Rescue Fire Department came and pulled him out. That was the end result, was basically you needed cables and you needed more machinery. There's animals in the woods. Oh wait, those are my animals. Cricket, it's pretty scary out here with this wind. You should probably get inside. You're gonna blow away. So it's 6:30 in the morning. There's some interesting, very thick, serious clouds going on, and the sun is coming up. It's going to be pretty beautiful once it actually reaches into the clouds, I'm sure. This is the last day of the year. It's New Year's Eve, and it's a big day. I mean, I've got a lot of things that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to go in and put a couple hours in at work, and I'm actually going to a couple different houses, so I'll probably show you the big house we were working on the river. I'll give you a shot of that to see what it's like. They put an infinity pool, so you look out the porch, and then, you know, I showed you the view before. You would look out the porch and you would see all the Tennessee River and the Duck River coming into the Tennessee. Now they put an infinity pool right there, so you look over the water's edge to see the river. It's really cool. I'll show you that. And then I gotta basically move some machinery to one of the houses that we're working at. I gotta go get an excavator and a skid loader. And once we're done with that, we're gonna come back here. We're gonna do a little fishing, and then we're gonna go to a fish fry for New Year's. My buddy Jack, that was in the last couple of videos out in the background fishing, he caught enough fish to have people over. So we're gonna go there and party. Yeah. So Happy New Year's, goodbye 2024, right? It's been a great year. I have been on the water the entire darn year. I started in August last year, just basically living on my sailboat out in the river here. And then come February, I moved to the houseboat, and we've been in the houseboat ever since. Now, some friends of mine actually came through during the same trip I did in the sailboat, Sean and Kelly, making their way from up north in Lake Michigan all the way down to the Gulf, and right now they're already in the Gulf. I mean, they bombed through here pretty quickly. It was pretty awesome.
Watching Monument River on the Tennessee River, knowing we've all got songs to sing. Yeah, we've all got songs to sing. Yeah, we've all got songs to sing. Having coffee in the valley, watching barges go by, listening for the fog bells to ring. Yeah, we've all got songs to sing. Yeah, we've all got songs to sing.
Now, Sean and Kelly have been fixing up this boat, and they're heading south, but other than that, they don't know which direction they want to go. They're going to fly by the seat of their pants. Follow them. The information's going to be in my description. So, part of the thing is having to go get supplies is one of my tasks that I'm always given, because everyone's doing work all week and I just come in once or twice a week. So a lot of the times where they just need someone to go get something, they give me that task. So I'm gonna go get some tile. After very long drive, like an hour and a half drive to get the tile, we're back here. And a lot of people have asked about this house, where we're at. Right now we got almost all the doors and windows in. Roof, painting, almost done. I'm pretty sure we're having like electrical work done right now, and tile. Tile's the big one. Yeah. Yep. Changes that happened this week. Well, the drywall's a big one. This is the next one. It's an infinity pool. So this will be their patio coming out. And then the infinity pool. Yeah, it's very cool. Kind of perfect, actually. Kind of perfect, actually. So we got to do electrical, which Angel's doing right now, and then tile, and then come back and do a little bit of drywall work. See how the drywall is missing from the bottom? That's because they're making the floor level, and then they're going to bring the drywall to the floor. And now we're back at the boat, just hanging out till a little bit later to head to the fish fry tonight with everybody. You're a good girl. Yeah, you are. You're a good dog.
Out here on the water, just me and my dreams, sailing through the currents beneath sunlit beams. Life's simpler here, weather bends. So am I, floating home where the wildflowers grow. Gone are the troubles, the noise of the city, just the sound of the waves. Life feels so pretty, living on the water where the world fades away. In my little boat, I find peace every day, tending the river, my home and my guide. In the flow of your waters, I take every ride.
Well, leaving the light on the boat makes the boat a lot easier to find. I thought about that because I left a little bit after dark today. So I'm like, you know, that's probably the best thing to do every single time I come back at night. The boat's screaming, look at me, look at me.